Hi guys, I'm Jaina. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for another video this week. I thought I'd do something a little bit different and talk about my top 5 favourite foundations. So I will do kind of like trials and tests just so you can see what I'm talking about. I just wanted to go through my top 5, like my everyday foundation, my like full coverage foundation, what are my go-tos. So I've got 5 foundations that I'm going to talk through. Some are high street and some are a little bit more expensive, but all really accessible, which I think is really good when talking about makeup. And I will mention 1 or 2 which are a little bit more luxury, but also not on my top 5, if that makes sense. But I'm going to go through my top 5 first, and yeah, I hope you find this helpful. I found it really difficult when looking to buy a new foundation, trying to find what colour would suit my skin, especially during lockdown when we couldn't go and actually test the product. And I would like find myself like googling like my skin tone or like what other foundations I would wear to see what matched in like that brand. So I hope this video helps people when trying to find foundation, because that is my aim. So yeah, if you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up because your support means everything. And yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. So my first foundation I'm going to go for, which is my lightweight foundation, which is my Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop. Ever since this has come out, and if you haven't seen my first review video, I will tag it right here. Ever since this has come out, it has been my go-to. It is so nice. I'm actually wearing it now, which when you look on camera, it is such a good coverage. It's so buildable. It blends really well with cream-based products and also powder products. So I've also had powder on top of my Eavesdrop today, and I think it's got like a really good coverage to it. It's super lightweight. That's why I love it. I think in her first advert that she did for this foundation, she had like her and the models using their hands to put it on. So when I first tried it, I used my hands, and I was like really weirded out by the using my hands to put on foundation. However, it is so workable with hands, a brush, a sponge, and that's why I like it. So like I said, it's really good for kind of everyday, really light makeup. If I just want to kind of put on a bit of mascara, a bit of foundation or tinted moisturizer, this is literally what I use at the moment. This is actually my second bottle of this since I have bought it. Like, I honestly swear by it so much. I'm using the shade 11, and I also bought shade 13 for when I have a tan. However, I have got a little bit of a tan now, and shade 11's kind of just like melted into my skin. So it's really like the scope of color covers it covers is amazing. So I would definitely say kind of get true to your skin tone. So yeah, number 11 in this. It's really lightweight, it's really affordable, it's under £30, and it's my second bottle. It is a 32ml bottle. I use this every day that I'm wearing makeup currently during the daytime. So I think it's really good value for money. I actually really like the packaging. The packaging is plastic, but I think because of how light it is and kind of how small it is, I think the glass wouldn't really suit it. The fact that it's plastic and really small, it can kind of fit in your handbag, it can fit in your makeup bag. It's really good. And I feel like when I'm just wearing this with kind of like mascara, it's really good for me to kind of just top up during the day. Like when you've been wearing a mask, it's really easy to just put some on your hands and like top up around the areas if you're going from like day to night, or you're going out and you just want to top it up a bit more. So I do really like this one. I will put a link to all of the foundations I'm talking about down in the description as well. So if you did want to try it for yourself, you can just click on the link and purchase. But if you haven't already tried Eavesdrop, what are you doing? But if you haven't already tried it, make sure you go try it, because honestly, Rihanna did it so good, like so good. So yeah, that is my first one. Second one I want to talk about is the Maybelline Up to 30 Hour Superstay Activewear Foundation. I use this in the colour Warm Sun, number 36, Warm Sun. This match is perfect for me. It's surprisingly super full coverage. It's really buildable. It's medium to full coverage in my opinion. It can take you from day to night, and it's got that it's really weird, like a flexible kind of colour. So once you kind of put the rest of your makeup on, it sits so nice on your face. It is very matte. That is the only thing I would say about it. So if you're going for more of a dewy look, you definitely don't want to use this, because even when I kind of was going for a dewy look, I kind of mixed it a little bit with a glow, like an illuminator, and it still sat really matte kind of around the center of my face. So it's definitely a full coverage matte foundation. It's super affordable. It's under £20. I think it's actually under 15 if I'm correct. Like I said, I'll link everything below so you'll be able to see. I actually was surprised at the colour match on this one, because Maybelline have a good variety of colour but not a lot, apart from their kind of eraser range. So I was actually really shocked that the undertone was right as well. So the undertone wasn't too grey, it wasn't too yellow, it sat really nice on my skin. This basically does what it says on the tin, up to 30 hours. This lasted me all day. It did not budge. Like, I was so shocked. Also, when I set it with setting spray and makeup powder, it didn't transfer a lot either, which I thought was quite good. I have done a full review on this as well, which I will tag up here so you can have a look at it. That is another one of my favourite high street foundations. My third high street foundation, I would say it's high street, is NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And you can literally see how much I use this because the state of the foundation is gross. I use this in the shade Classic Tan. I actually use this because I saw Koshal Beauty using this or advertising it when she had her collaboration with NYX. And honestly, this was my, way before Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop, this was my everyday foundation. And it still is my everyday foundation if I don't want to wear tinted, like a tinted moisturizer. If I want to wear a full foundation every day, this is the one that I pick up and go to. It's so soft, so lightweight, really buildable. It goes on really well with a brush, but even better with a sponge. And I like to use a damp Real Technique sponge or the Morphe sponge, where it's a little bit more fluffier inside. So I really like how that goes on. The colour match is great. And what I did like with NYX as well, you can do a like a colour kind of test thing so you can see. But yeah, anyone that asks me about a full or kind of like medium to full coverage everyday foundation that is buildable, this is always the one I recommend. I do not recommend any other one apart from this one anytime someone asks me, just because it's been my go-to. Like, it's my staple foundation. This is always in my makeup bag. I always have this. Even if I'm going away for a few days, I'll take full coverage foundation, I will still always have this because it's one that I just always keep going back to. It sits on the face really nice. I find that it doesn't crease around my lines here, and my T-zone doesn't get super greasy in it. And what kind of the shine that comes up through it, I can literally blot away and it's like it's brand new again. It doesn't kind of take away or separate from the product from like other products, and it kind of doesn't detach, which I really like about this. It's super affordable. Again, I think it's under £20. You can get it from Boots or wherever does NYX. I do tend to get mine from Boots because obviously you get the Boots points as well. But I actually also buy it off NYX website because they do have really good deals on there. But yeah, it's one of my favourites. When I first got it, I thought it was like a little bit of a yellow undertone, but when it goes on, it is so nice. I'll actually swatch it for you on my hand just so you can see. You can literally see on your hand at how full coverage you can get from it. Like, it literally is so smooth and so light on my hands. I absolutely love it. It's, like I said, it is literally one I recommend all the time. And I think the shades that they offer is really good for Asian and olive skin and like that kind of medium skin tone, like the tan skin tone. Absolutely love it. Cream blush from the one that I use from Elf goes on really nice on that, and it kind of just gives me like that all day sheer kind of glow. I do really like it because it's not matte. It's got like that dewy look, and with some setting spray and kind of like a little bit of illuminator, it looks so good. Like I said, I do wear it every day. However, I've used this for events and it's not budged all night. And that's one reason I like it, because you can wear it really casual every day and you can literally do a couple of layers, build it up and make it really full coverage, and it stays put. So that is why I recommend this one to everyone. Okay, so like my next favorite one, which is kind of a high street but not so high street, it's a brand one, is actually NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I wear this in the shade Barcelona. I can also be sometimes Syracuse, which I sometimes do mix together. However, recently I've just been leaning more towards Barcelona because I like the finish on me once I've kind of put contour and highlight on. This just sits really nice. This is my go-to full coverage event, wedding, like evening, nighttime, dinner foundation. It's just what I go to. It has lasted me ages. I know like you're supposed to change foundation, whatever. This bottle has lasted me probably a year. Obviously we've not been going out during COVID, but it's lasted me really well. It goes on so nice. I actually prefer putting this one on with a brush just because it's full coverage. So like a really dense brush, kind of like the Huda Beauty foundation brush or something like that, really pushes it onto the skin. It's a really nice full coverage. And then so there's not any streaking, I will just go over with a beauty blender just to kind of like blend it all into my face. It's lightweight, full coverage, it's non-cakey and non-creasing. So for me, it sits really well with the heavy base concealers as well. So like Tarte Shape Tape, e.l.f. Camo Concealer, which is also the high street version of Tarte Shape Tape. It sits so well and blends in really easy with them under the eyes. There's like no cracking. When I'm wearing this foundation, I always get compliments on my skin. I think it creates the best base for me. It blends in so nice. Yeah, so this is like my go-to full coverage foundation. It's got kind of like a radiant, satiny kind of feel to it. So it's really, really like just radiant looking. It's really nice. I don't need a lot of highlighter when I wear it. It's so good for my skin. This does my base so well. Every time I'm wearing this foundation, I always get compliments on my base, and it is literally down to this foundation. And I think it's purely because even though it's so full coverage, it blends out like a dream. Like once you have applied it with like a really dense brush, to kind of go in and just even everything out with a beauty blender, literally just melts onto my skin. It is honestly a dream. And I just kind of toss up between kind of Dior and NARS, but at the moment NARS is literally the one I go to. I just think the coverage is so bang on, and at first I think it's really hard because I've heard loads of like comments of people going into NARS kind of concessions and not being able to find the right match, and the color is so precise, like there's no kind of in-betweens. However, once you find the match that you kind of mix with, honestly, it sits on the skin like a dream, and I cannot recommend it enough for a full coverage foundation. I really like the packaging as well, because it's a glass bottle. I love NARS just written on the side. It's super sleek. I love glass and black packaging, and the pump for me is one of the best things. So it doesn't get stuck. It's really easy to maneuver, and the nozzle's actually really good. Like it doesn't get clogged up out kind of in here. So if you don't use it for a few weeks, sometimes when the product dries up, it's kind of hard. I think you can see on this one, the nozzle just gets blocked up from, I mean, I know I should clean it, but it just gets blocked up from obviously using it. This one doesn't. And I like the fact that this is all glass, but this is plastic, just because I think it's really durable, and just kind of getting it's one of those pumps that you can really control the amount that you're getting out. So you can kind of press it as hard as you want and get quite a lot out, or you can press it like really lightly and you'll get like the tiny amount out. And I find it really good to be able to control what you can get out the pump because it's so full coverage. So if I'm almost finished my face and I just need like the tiniest bit to kind of finish around my cheeks or anything, it's so easy to control the amount that comes out of it. So that is like one of my one of the reasons why I absolutely love it. Number 5, I think you kind of all know what it's going to be, and it is my Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation in the old formula and the luminous formula. So I use both, and the old one is a little bit more mattifying, and I still use it because I still have bottles of it in Baklava and Macchiatto, and I use the luminous one in shade Macchiatto just because it kind of sits with me a little bit better. I find the Baklava has got a little bit of a yellow undertone, so I will only wear it kind of during the summer months, and also if I can kind of blend it out with a lot of cream contour and kind of bronzer and stuff like that. Again, I love the packaging. I love the fact that it is clear and black. The only thing for me is that this is plastic, which is a little bit annoying, but I just think this kind of metal, the kind of like mixed colours here just look like really sleek when you've got it on your countertop. I think it's a really sleek packaging. I love Huda Beauty packaging. I love the makeup. Full coverage foundation, really easy to blend. When I first applied it with her brush, I wasn't a fan. I felt like it was just too much. I could definitely feel the product on my face. So what I have noticed is I go in with a less dense kind of foundation brush, apply it, absolutely love it. smooth it all out with a beauty blender, and the finish is beautiful. It is so soft, so lovely. The matte one is super matte but not drying around my nose. There's no cakiness kind of here, and it doesn't crack here, so that's why I love it as a matte foundation. And the luminous one is so glowy, and it just sits so beautiful on the skin. And I think I love Huda Beauty even more because the shades she has for Asian, olive, tan, medium to dark skin is amazing. I just think there's some brands out there which are absolutely amazing at nailing colours, like Fenty and Huda, and then you've kind of got like the high street brands which are still playing catch up. So I think with L'Oreal, you're either one or the other shade, and it's kind of never right. Same with Rimmel, whereas I think when you kind of go to brands like this, when you invest in good product, you can either mix two together, or the shades just kind of, it's the undertones in the shades that just kind of get it to your perfect kind of match for Asian skin. So for me, that's why I really like Huda Beauty, because she has that range and good coverage on offer. It's full coverage, it sits nice wet on your skin, it blends in with other products. I do find when I use Huda Beauty foundation, I tend to use her translucent or banana powder instead of my Laura Mercier one, just because I feel like it sits better on it, because Huda Beauty's powder is a little bit full coverage as well. So I feel like when you're going for like a full glam, this just sits really well with her products, which is not a bad thing. I think it's obviously great for her sales and everything, but I think in my opinion, it sits way better on my skin with Huda Beauty product. It's under, I think it's under £40. I think it's £37 in the UK. You can kind of get it from anywhere now. I think like Boots do it as well. Before it kind of used to be like Selfridges, Harrods and Harvey Nicks, but now Boots do it as well, so it's really easy to access. I'm using the shade Baklava in this one, but obviously, like I said, in the luminous one and this stick foundation of hers, I use Macchiatto. What I do have to say is I much prefer Huda Beauty liquid foundation to her stick. I was not impressed with the stick as much. I think the coverage is great. The more I use the stick, for the amount that you pay for the product, is not great. And with this, it's 35ml for the price, and it lasts ages because it's so full coverage. You don't need a lot. I would say I use about 2 pumps on my full face, and that will cover my face and kind of get me really good coverage that I need. So that concludes my top 5 favourite foundations to use right now for Indian olive kind of skin tone. If you want me to do a kind of another category, if you want me to do like my top 5 blushes or bronzers, let me know in the comments what you want to see from me. If you like this video, do not forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you next week for another video.